Um, well, look, the rest is important, but that doesn't. The myth number two is that ensures a fast start. Um, it doesn't. You understand this. We're playing a team that's coming off one of their biggest wins in the last 10 years, and so we've got to earn a fast start and 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 take advantage of the energy, take advantage of the rest, but it has to be done out here. And today was a good start.
That is Sean Payton talking to the media earlier this week as Buffalo prepares to travel to Denver with the momentum of a wild card win. But the Broncos are home favorites despite the Bills' recent surge here. The Denver's defense has been among the league's best while Buffalo's offensive firepower, especially at the quarterback, in multiple time, or I guess one-time MVP Josh Allen, keeps this a tight matchup. That was Sean Payton there talking about the rust that could be acquired on a bye week from a team, and what they try to do to get ready for that. So it's essentially saying, hey, what it matters is you get your players rest, and then it matters what you do on the practice field, and it starts right there as far as your intensity, what you bring, the momentum that you bring. Big time matchup here. This is a 3:30 game on CBS, I believe, and you've got the Broncos favored by 1.5 points. Over under is 45.5. The Broncos narrowly won. What did they play earlier this? I don't think they did. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing here. But we've got some big injuries in this game, really, and it really comes from the Bills side. You've got safety Jordan Poyer that's going to be out with a hamstring. Their rookie cornerback, Maxwell Harrison, is going to be out. They've got a bunch of questionables with backup running back Ty Johnson, their wide receiver Curtis Samuel, Ed Oliver. They've got stuff all over the place. Damar Hamlin, all dealing with injuries. Josh Allen's reportedly not 100%, but he said earlier today that he is good to go. He's feeling good. It is playoff football, so he's going to make it through there. On the Broncos side, they've been pretty healthy. They just have some questionable guys that are normal throughout this. But it's going to be interesting. The Bills are shorthanded at wide receiver. They have found some recent stuff. Brandon Cooks, being able to get him open down the field. James Cook, he is a big time playmaker, and yeah, there's a lot riding on this matchup here. So yeah, what do you think, Emilio?
This one's a weird one because obviously when you have Josh Allen, there's that alone that can swing a game in any direction. But this Broncos defense goes right along with the Texans defense. They're probably number 2 in the league in my mind as the second best defense in the NFL. Their back end is pretty much a clamp. They are able to get a pass rush. They play very, very fast on defense, but I don't know. It's weird because offensively they're not very impressive. They leave a lot to be desired. They've had spurts where they look good. They've had spurts where they look really, really bad. And I don't know what you're going to get after a bye week, and you never really saw a whole lot of consistency from them offensively. And I think that to go against this Bills team, no matter how good your defense is, this Bills team finds a way to score points.
Yeah,
So,
do you think the Bills just maybe just get hot all of a sudden after beating, like, especially the Jaguars were a good defense, right?
right.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
the Jags defense was no slump, and they were consistently good all year,
for
and
sure.
the Bills found a way. To me, if you're looking at it from an even playing field, because I don't think there's that big of a gap between the Jags defense and the Broncos defense, and the Bills were able to score, what, 30? Was it 30?
No, I think it was like 27 or something like that.
27?
Yeah.
So I think in my mind, the Broncos should win, but I don't think they're going to. I think that gap that they have offensively is what's going to be their Achilles heel in this one. I think Josh Allen just finds a way to at least get them to the AFC Championship. So I think the Bills are going to find a way to win this one. It's going to rely heavily on James Cook and Josh Allen for obvious reasons because they don't really have anybody else for it to rely on. I could see the Dalton Kincaid having a big role in this one, especially with all the decimation that they've had at wide receiver. So if you're a betting person, take a look at Dalton Kincaid's betting lines and see what you can get, because I think he'll have a big role in this game.
Yep. Yeah, here's Josh Allen on his depleted wide receiver room.
Your wide receiver room takes multiple hits. Now, how do you guys move forward with legitimately half of the receivers you had 4 days ago?
Yeah, obviously not an ideal situation, but I still trust that room completely. Whoever we bring up needs to step up, and we have full confidence that they will. This week is going to be very important throughout the practices that we have, of making sure that we're getting on the same page with timing and just understanding where guys can go, try to utilize their strengths to the best of our abilities. But I got no doubt that whoever's going to be up in those spots is going to do their job, step up, and then help us win or help us make plays.
What he's saying is he's just saying, hey, look, I'm going to make some plays. I'm going to throw you the damn ball and just catch it. You ain't got to do anything else except just be alive in those 5 seconds of me getting the snap, running around, throwing you the ball, and just catch the damn ball. So he's a complete X factor. I think it comes back to, talk about Patrick Surtain and him shutting down your number one receiver, and they don't have a number one receiver, so he's not going to know what the hell to do. I just trust Josh Allen way more in these scenarios, and I don't have a reason not to pick him. The Broncos have a very good defense. Their offense can be sneaky good at times. If they can get R.J. Harvey going early, help Bo Nix in the play action game where they could get Courtland Sutton and some of these guys down the field and get them open on slants. That's all big ifs. You haven't seen it consistently from Denver. You see Josh Allen, week in and week out. I'm taking the Bills here. I wouldn't be surprised. It's probably going to be like a 3 to 7 point kind of game, in my opinion. But, Josh Allen, he's been the real deal. I think he puts the team on his back. Easy goes. Just, it don't matter who's out there, It could be the damn water boy. Just catch the damn ball when I throw it to you. So, easy for me. Yep.
I think
Nothing
the
else?
one thing that could happen is if Denver's defensive line gets going early and gets Buffalo into obvious passing situations, that could be a problem.
Every down's a passing situation for Buffalo. What are you talking about?
Not with James Cook.
James either Cook's going 1 yard or 100 yards. It don't matter. So we're both on the Bills there. That's scary. So the Broncos probably win. Don't take that one there.
How does the body feel?
I feel amazing. Let me just say, just so grateful, blessed to be back. And, I think obviously when all this happened, I didn't really think about the possibility of returning in season, but, the way things progressed and being able to have this opportunity to be back with my teammates and have a chance at helping them win this week and so on and so forth, that's my only goal going forward.
I don't know if y'all can tell yet, but I've figured out some new shit on here, and I've got media stuff going in here, and I don't know if I like it or not yet, but you're gonna have to live with it for this episode. But that was Fred Warner, the possible return candidate here. He resumed with some limited practice after missing most of the season with a broken ankle, and he could possibly return. I think he broke his ankle around week 3 or something like that, and now he's already ready to make a return back to potentially help the 49ers as they travel to Seattle to take on the Seahawks in this NFC divisional round. It is a Saturday game, 8 o'clock Eastern. It is going to be 7 o'clock Central Time. This is an NBC game, I believe. NFC West rivals renew the rivalry in Seattle. We saw this from week 18. Seattle beat them 13-3, made the 49ers just look like they didn't deserve on the same field here. They shut down McCaffrey. The Niners really were struggling in that, like they've struggled all year, just with injuries and stuff like that, and having inconsistent weapons throughout the game. And that kind of played over into last week with Philadelphia as well. They had to do some trickery to really get the ball down the field and especially get it into the end zone. You can never count out Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy always plays really hard. He's turned into, one of the better quarterbacks in the National Football League. He's been that for a couple years, but I think this year people are really understanding, like, hey, this isn't just, a scheme here. He can actually throw the ball and do things good. I don't trust Seattle whatsoever. I'm going to take the upset here with the Niners. I think if they can run the ball, they can do well. If Fred Warner comes back, he's going to be just give that defense just a little bit of spark here. Sam Darnold in playoff games does not show up. That he hasn't played in many, but he doesn't show up typically. I would really hate if DeMarcus Lawrence made it to the NFC Championship game after playing for the Cowboys all those years. It's for some stupid reason I'd rather think that the Niners would go to the NFC Championship game than just DeMarcus Lawrence. So that's pretty stupid for me to think, but whatever. I mean, really, if you look at the Seahawks, I don't get what all their weapon and all the hoopla is about with them. You've got Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then after that, it falls off pretty hard. I mean, you got Cooper Kupp. He's not the same Cooper Kupp that he was when he was a Triple Crown winner, 3 years ago. You know, they've got two running backs that run decently well, and Kenneth Walker and
Zach Charbonnet.
There you go, Charbonnet. She said she wants some Marvin Gaye. That's what came to my head when I'm sorry. Anyway, they run pretty well, but I just don't trust this Seahawks team whatsoever. I could see this being where they completely just do what Seattle does and fall on their face, and the Niners come in here and they just keep trucking along. I guess really part of me wants to go back and talk shit to those Seahawks people that were commenting on my Facebook post, and then part of me just hates the Niners really bad and wants to see them lose, and I don't know which one wants to win more so. But give me the Niners to win a close game here.
Yeah, I think for me, I also don't trust the Seahawks. I don't trust their offense. They did not look very good all season long. They relied heavily on their kicker to win them, their kicker and their defense to win them a number of games. I mean, their kicker kicking 5 to 6 field goals to get a win, and their defense scoring 2 touchdowns in multiple games to get wins. And when you get to the playoff time and you play this Niners team, I don't necessarily think that your defense is just going to get 2 touchdowns. And I don't see their kicker being able to just hit 5 or 6 to keep them alive. So for me, also, you know, the Niners obviously decimated with injuries as well, but at least for them, they've had this problem since week 3. So it's not unusual for them to be without George Kittle. It's not unusual for them to have 4 wide receivers that nobody's heard shit about because they're just regular guys. And it's not unusual for teams to harp in on trying to stop Christian McCaffrey. So everything that Seattle's going to throw at him, I believe Kyle Shanahan will have a plan for. And I think that's kind of what he does best is, you know, he lets you see so much all season long. And in just about every play set that he has, there's a wrinkle off of those plays that nobody's seen yet. And I feel like he purposely waits till playoff time to throw those in. And, you know, all it takes is one play that you hadn't seen yet to get you a touchdown and swing momentum in the right direction. I think if you're the 49ers, you know what's on the table. If you win this one, you go back home, literally. Well, I guess not necessarily. I guess you would have to go to whatever.
No, yeah, you'd either have to go to LA or Chicago. Yep.
But you know what the end game is, and that's to get back home for the Super Bowl. So I don't know that they're able to do that, but I think they're able to win this one. And I am absolutely going with the Niners, and I'm definitely ready and loaded to talk shit to all those Seahawks fans that came after me on that last clip.
Yeah, that probably means that the Niners are going to lose here, guys. But Seattle's favored by 7 points. Total point here is 44.5 there. So I would take the over on that, and then money line San Francisco plus 270. So that's pretty good odds there if you're going to roll with the Niners. And I think we're going to be right. Seattle just shits the bed all the time. And, yeah, screw the Seahawks. I could care less about both those teams. I had another clip to play, but I'm not going to play them because I'm just pissed off about them. So they can suck it. I don't doubt anybody cares, but anyways. So, oh, man. That's we gotta be nice to these Seahawk fans.
No, we don't.
Win on the road. How important was that to just say, okay, we're over that hurdle, we can move on, we can win games on the world, the playoffs, where that's not an issue?
Yeah, that's the biggest one. Knowing the position we're in, knowing like as a wild card, like you got to go on the road, you got to win games. A lot of people say you can't do it. It's the home field advantage. But for me, it was very big for our organization to get that first road playoff win and show that, hey, we can do it no matter what's happened in the past. Hey, this is the new Texans. We're here. It's a different, it's a different era right now. So it's a lot of firsts to be had. And, I'm happy to be here with this team and leading us into a lot of firsts.
Man, that was Texans head coach D'Amico Ryans talking about his new team and the new organization, as he calls the new Texans, and the culture that they have coming off their first ever road playoff victory against the Steelers. They're feeling pretty high. These are two teams with contrasting strengths here as the Texans boast a top-notch defense while the Patriots enter with a really high, powered offense that can get you at times and home field advantage. This is going to shape up to grind between discipline and opportunistic playmaking on both sides of the football here. Drake May's been really well, done really well on that side of the ball. He's come a long way from his year before. Having Mike Vrabel there to help him, get going and all those kind of things. Here's Drake May talking about that Texans defense, though, that is going to be very stout, like they've carried this team all season long. And how do you put it, Emilio? They just they go out there and
knock the chocolate out of folks.
Not the chocolate out of folks. Here's Drake May.
Guess you're after.
Drake, what's it been like this week watching a film festival of the Houston defense?
Yeah, they fly around. They're relentless. They're great up front. They're great in the back end. They got great linebackers. They're great all around. They're great coaching. So we got our hands full, and we know it's going to be a tough game. We got to play the game the right way, and we got great players all around. And man, all the hype is fulfilling and is deserving on film. What I've seen. So we got to be able to stay ahead of the chains. And I know we got a tough task, but we have our hands full and play complimentary football, and from there just try to find ways to pick up first down, score some points.
Man, Emilio, you've been really high on both of these teams all year, especially the Patriots. You've been one of the bigger supporters. They're favored by 3 points here. The over-under is 40.5, and money line is Houston plus 142. What's going to give here, Emilio, for you?
What's the weather looking like?
It's going to be cold, obviously. It is in New England.
Is there going to be snow?
Let me see here what my little icon is. It shows just cloudy and 36 is what it's going to be. This is on ESPN, by the way, at 2 or 3 Eastern, 2 o'clock Central. So,
man, I've been thinking about this one all week long. I keep going back and forth. If I rewatch that clip from D'Amico Ryans and I start thinking about what they did to Aaron Rodgers, I would pick the Texans. And then if I start thinking about what the Patriots did all year long offensively, and then look at that clip from their defense last week and what they were able to do to Justin Herbert, it's hard to pick against either one of these teams. But offensively, I still don't trust C.J. Stroud, and I have some confidence in this Patriots offense. So I think whenever I look at it, I got an offense that I have some confidence in and a defense that brought me some confidence last week after what they did to the Chargers. And then I have this Texans defense that is just so damn good and an offense that is miserable. So who are you taking? You tell me who you're taking first, and then I'll decide.
I have a hard time picking against the Texans defense is the problem. They're so opportunistic and they play really physical. At times this year, the Patriots have struggled when they cannot run the ball consistently, and Houston does a really good job of stopping the run. Drake May's but I just don't see it. When I watched the last time I watched the Patriots, I went, man, who do they really have that are playmakers out there? Stephon Diggs is taking a step back. I don't trust Ramondre Stevenson. Henderson is young. Drake May can play really good plays at times. I'm going to take the Texans in this one in a really close game. If they can hold the Patriots in that 20-point range, they're going to have a really good opportunity. Now, last week against the Steelers did a really good job against the Texans, and really that Texans offense only scored 16 points or something like that. The Texans defense scored half of the damn points. CJ Stroud and that side of the football is really going to have to figure something out with Woody Marks. They're not going to have Nico Collins in this game. That's another big game here that that we didn't talk about. And so Nico Collins is out. And I think that's about the biggest thing, but that's their best threat on the Texans side of the football. They've had to play a long year without him. So give me the Texans. I think they're going to be ready, and that defense is going to carry them to the AFC Championship.
Okay. The Patriots are going back to the AFC Championship. I made up my mind.
The quickest rebuild in fucking NFL history.
You're damn right it is. I think just what Mike Vrabel brings so much juice and so much energy and always has his guys ready to go. I don't see them just laying down lightly. I think this is going to be a close game by all means because that Texans defense is very good. But I think the Patriots offense does enough, and their defense, I think, is what wins it. The Patriots defense used to win you lots of fantasy games, scoring multiple touchdowns. And I think they're back to being one of those defenses that people don't want to face. And especially if you're the Texans without Nico Collins and a running game that I still don't really trust. Woody Marks had a big week last week. I don't see that happening again. I see them putting CJ Stroud in a position that he has not looked comfortable in all year. And when I think about it, I think the Patriots just find a way to come away with it and back to prominence and be waiting on the Bills.
Yeah. Texans straight up. Take the money line in those that 40 really scares me as far as an over-under. If I had to guess, I'd say take the over, really. I mean, it's that. I mean, you'll probably pay out way more if you take the under and it actually hits. But for some reason, 40 points in an NFL game it's happened, but I don't know. It's not my money, so don't come after me if you lose it all.
Gamble responsibly.
Yeah, we're going to gamble responsibly 100%. And, anyways, so.
Playing Lambeau, Soldier Field, bad weather. What have you taken out of those previous? How does it affect your game?
Yeah, I mean, I think each game is kind of unique, right? You can't just bunch them all together. Played in Philly back in the day, there was 6 inches of snow on the ground. Played in other games where it's just cold and dry. You just got to go figure out what the elements are, how it's going to affect the ball, go play. We had wind last week. What's that like? How's the ball moving when you throw it down the field, all those kind of things. So you just kind of figure it out as you go. Each one is its own unique set of circumstances. I know that both teams are playing in it. You just go out there and execute the best you can. I know Sean and I will be in constant dialogue on, hey, how do we want to call this game? How do we want to get this thing going to give ourselves the best chance to go out there and be successful?
Everybody's worried about Matthew Stafford in these cold weather games, like he didn't play in the NFC North for majority of his career. But you have a Sunday night spotlight featuring the Gritty Bears, who just notched their first playoff win in 15 years against a veterans Rams team that is playoff experience and a potent offense. You have Matthew Stafford, obviously, that is bringing a elite quarterback experience there, and he's going to be the MVP of the regular season with a really balanced, explosive offense with Puka Nacua, two-headed running back in Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. On the other side of the ball, Caleb Williams. He looks like he's the quarterback that Chicago's been searching for since
Rex Grossman.
Rex Grossman did a pretty good job. Rex Grossman did a pretty good job. Caleb Williams is what we all thought Jake Cutler was going to be, but he's just gayer. Yeah. Anyways, anybody that paints their fingernails and all that shit, yeah.
And we mean gay in the not good at sports kind of way, but that goes without saying.
Yeah, exactly. But he's an exciting quarterback that they've been searching for. I was going to say since McMahon, but you said Grossman. You're right. So, but anyways, yeah, they've got DeAndre Swift that's been pretty good. Kyle Mongolia has done good. They've got a deep.
That's not it.
What's his name? I don't know what his name is.
Not it.
What's his last name? It's like Mongolia or Montry, or I don't know what the hell his name is, honestly.
Kyle Lim.
What?
Mongolia?
Yeah, his last name starts with an M. I'm not that. I may be dumb, but I ain't that dumb. I'm gonna find him now. Anyways, you got really a two-headed running back there for for the Bears as well. How do you say Monangai? How do you say it?
Manungai.
Manungai. There you go. Mongolian Manungai. I don't know. All the same shit at the end. You have the Rams favored by 4.5 here. The over-under is 51.5, and then money line is plus 164 for the Bears. This is going to be. They're saying it's going to be a cold game. Let's see what the weather's like here. You've got
snow.
20 degrees and snow, man.
So
hey,
somebody brought me a stat today that Matthew Stafford is 1-14 in the snow.
Man, well, he played on the Lions, so you can't hurt him. You can't. I mean, most of those games were probably played in Green Bay, and then he played one in Philly when it was a complete snowstorm. You remember that
Some of
blizzard?
them probably played in Chicago.
Yeah, maybe in Chicago too. I mean, hey, you can't blame him that bad. I mean, this one for me, the Bears were able to come back after they did absolutely. They looked terrible against the Packers. I think the Rams are they're more talented. They have a better quarterback. I trust their defense more. I trust their coach a little more. Ben Johnson has been a good coach this year, but he's got Sean McVay's been there. He's done that. He's won a Super Bowl. All this good stuff. They're both really smart and talented. Experience versus youth. I'm going to take the Rams in a slight edge there, just because even if it's snowing, you have two running backs that you can lean on. And then Puka Nacua, he just seems like it doesn't matter what's going on. The dude could have one leg and he's still going to have 100 yards receiving, it feels like. He just, I don't know. He goes into that Islander, spirits and shit and starts, I don't know what he conjures up, but he does something. And he makes it happen. So.
Yeah.
What? What, am I getting too loose over here on this shit or what?
No, you're doing great, man. I'm having fun here.
Yeah, we are having fun. I don't think there's an injury report just before you make your bet, just so you know. Nick McLeod at cornerback's out. DJ Moore was limited with his knee, but he'll play. Dunze was limited. He'll play. CJ Gardner was a full participant, returning for concussion there. And the Rams, they don't have anybody. So they're
I've been on since the first time somebody asked me, who do you think is going to the Super Bowl? I've said the Rams. And I'm not moving off that with this one. This Bears team has been exciting. They've really done a full turnaround with what they got going on. But I think they're the team. What they have is what they don't have what the Rams have. That's what they aspire to be. It's a younger group. You mentioned it. It's youth versus experience, and I think the experience wins in this situation. I just trust them a lot more. I trust the Rams all the way around a lot more than I do this Bears team. There's been times where they've looked real bad, especially in those first three quarters against the Packers. And there's been times where they look really good, especially in the fourth quarter against the Packers. So I think when you look at what the Rams have done all year, outside of that weird little slide they went on towards the end, which, and they didn't play necessarily great against the Panthers last week, but they find a way to win, and that's who they are. That's what they do. They're hard to stop for all four quarters. I mean, Matthew Stafford is an absolute dog. So even if they can't sling it, you touched on it. They got Blake Corum, who played at Michigan and is a Michigan man, knows exactly what it's like to play in the cold. He used to have monster games.
Michigan ain't going to do nothing. Get out of here.
He used to have monster games in the snow against Ohio State. Ask Landon. He'll remember that.
I knew you were going there.
So, they have a run game that they can lean on. They have a veteran quarterback that they can trust. Give me the Rams. The Rams, this is an easy one. I'm not moving off it. Kyle Mongolia doesn't scare me. Bro.
Might as well be barbecue chicken. Shit.
I thought you were paying a tribute to my Yamaha Kawasaki.
Yamaha, Kawasaki, Toshiba, Samsung. Shout out Scary Movie 4, right? 3, whatever that was. Jingle. Yeah, man, that probably means the Rams are going to lose. We both picked.
We picked a lot of these same teams.